we'll do first is to sing the very first one, Christmas is Here with Joy Untold. Tova will play it through, or a few bars through, right? And then we will begin. Afterwards, I want to tell you a little bit about Bernhard Severin Ingemann, who wrote the lyrics to this hymn. And that's what I intend to do with several of these, because there are 3 different writers that contributed these hymns. So, Christmas is Here with Joy Untold. To children in this hymn, and that is not unusual for the Romantics, and that was a literary movement and a philosophical movement that existed at the end of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th century, placed a lot of emphasis on children and the honesty of expression that arises from children. Bernhard Severin Ingemann, B.S. Ingemann, as you note at the bottom there, was born in 1789 and died in 1862. He is known as Denmark's Sir Walter Scott, for he wrote numerous novels, plays, poems, and dramatic poems as well. He's probably best known for 4 historical novels, and that's why he's compared with Sir Walter Scott. 4 historical novels beginning with Valdemar the Victorious, and then running through King Eric, and then he completed that with a long narrative poem on Queen Margrethe I, not of course the one who rules now. He was one of Denmark's romantics, and I think we see that in the narrative itself. You'll notice that in those last lines of each of the first and third verses, we speak of children's joy and a childlike faith. And that childlike faith is that which the Romantics looked at as being a kind of honest faith. I think also nature comes into play in the second stanza and the second line there. Come, gentle-eyed dove and sparrow. this idea of the birds. And of course, the bird is a symbol of the spirit, and so the spirit is joining in the feast as well. There's kind of a humorous little detail, however, that since we don't have the Danish in front of us, we would not be aware of. You'll see in the second stanza, in the third line, it says, "Sing, little child, this festival mourn." Well, in the Danish, it's "Dance, little child, this festival mourn." Now, those Danes who were influenced by the Intermission, they just had a little problem with dancing. And so, despite the fact that this was published by both of the Danish Lutheran churches, a compromise was made in the printing of this, and so it was changed from "Dance, little child" to "Sing, little child." And therefore, those of us who grew up in the Intermission tradition, we could retain our, anti-dancing stance. And so, just I think an interesting little detail from that Christmas carol.